Welcome back to the channel, guys. Can you believe it? We are already on episode 10 of the weekly wrap. Hope you guys are really enjoying this, and if you guys are new to here, consider subscribing to my channel. I'll give weekly updates on this, and then I'll also talk about all things about Tesla, electric vehicles, and other stuff. So, as you can see over here on the right, Xpeng, Tesla, Zeekr, DMC, VW, new one there, Aehra I think it is, and Chery. So let's jump straight into this week's news. So the Chery Omoda E5, I mentioned this before, we now have confirmed specs. So the specs came out this week, and it will arrive in two grades. So you've got the BX that you can see over here on the left hand side, and then you've got the EX over here. So your EX obviously has added stuff over here, or added features. Both of them are essentially single motor, front mount, 150 kilowatts with 340 Newton meters of torque, 430 kilometers range WLTP, which means you should be able to see 300 something kilometers per, I guess, full charge or full tank, and 0 to 100 in 7.6 seconds. So you've got lots of 7-year warranty, 7-cap price servicing, 7-year roadside assistance, so it's all pretty good. And then battery warranty at 8 years, unlimited kilometer. So it's fantastic that they've implemented the unlimited kilometer component there. So yeah, that's definitely coming soon. And speaking of soon, the Chery Omoda E5 was actually spotted in Sydney earlier on this week in Randwick. So further credit to Oliver. This was reposted by Tom from Ludicrous Feed, and you can see it's in the exact same color, so it does look pretty good. What do you guys think? I think if they get the price point right, it'll be selling like hotcakes. It's definitely one to watch. But let's move on. Xpeng G6. So there's a couple of pages on Xpeng coming up. So this is essentially some of the snippets from some of the articles I found. So basically there's hundreds of orders at the moment for the G6. Now, since that was at the show on the weekend, last weekend in Melbourne, did you guys go down for a drive? And if you did, how was it? Because I watched some of the videos online going through social media, and everyone seems to be very impressed with it, so that's really, really good. The key sticking point though that I want you guys to focus on is over here. So whilst it's not official confirmation on paper with the released price, the CEO, or True EV CEO, Jason Clark, essentially said the price point is going to be lower than the Model Y. So yeah, that looks really, really promising. And just remember, the entry-level G6 standard range is powered by a 66 kilowatt-hour battery, about 190 kilowatts, 440 Newton meters torque, 0 to 100 in 6.6, 435 kilometers WLTP, which should see over 300 kilometers, and then the long range goes up to 87.5 kilowatt-hour battery, 210 kilowatts in terms of power, 440 Newton meters torque, 570 kilometers WLTP. So hopefully you could get around 500 kilometers per full charge. That'll be pretty good. And 0 to 100 in 6.2 seconds. So yeah, that's definitely a car to watch out for, especially being a Model Y competitor, and really looking forward to seeing this brand come into the market in Australia, and looking forward to see this on the roads. Now, speaking of the G6, the other thing that also happened this week was the spec sheet officially came out. So what you guys can see here is essentially just a quick snippet from there. The spec sheet does show essentially the two variants, which is the standard range and the long range. I'll put a link to the spec sheet down in the description below, so you guys can click that and go straight there to have a look at it. I only included a screenshot here because it was quite long. Now, the good side of things in terms of what Xpeng is offering for the G6 variant is that it looks like all of the features are essentially included in both variants. So the only difference really comes down to the battery size, which means that there's a difference in the battery power, the battery chemistry, and the efficiency. So you can see over here LFP in the standard range and NMC in the long range, along with the various acceleration figures, consumption figures, power figures. But in terms of safety and all of that, in either variant you get the lot, so that's really, really, really good. Alright, let's move on to the X9. So as you guys may recall, I did say that this one kind of stuck onto the website and caught my attention, and it was actually at the show on the weekend. So if you guys did see it, what did you guys think? I still think it's probably a really big car. It's really long, 5.3 meters from memory. But essentially what I want you guys to focus on here is that, so the car is still not confirmed. It is on the website, but it's firming up because they need to prove demand. Now what they're saying here is in 6 to 8 weeks they will be saying formally if this is going to be part of the range. So whilst it's not 100% confirmed here, they're obviously taking expression of interest probably by the website, or if you can contact them. And yeah, hopefully in roughly 2 months we should know if this is going to be a confirmed vehicle or not. So I'll keep my eyes peeled on the website and I will keep you guys posted. Now this one here, this is new. Now apologies if I've totally butchered the name, but I feel like it's Aehra or Aehra, Impeto and Estasi. So Impeto is the SUV and Estasi is the sedan. Really funky looking doors. All of them just fly up like that, like it looks pretty cool. Now this is Italian's first pure EV brand, and they've revealed or confirmed the official names of the first 2 vehicles, which is, as you see there, Impeto for the SUV and Estasi for the sedan. So the company has submitted 1.2 billion, I think it's euros, development plan to the Ministry of Industry and Made in Italy, which is essentially Italy's automotive funding place. So they've submitted that for the construction of a state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities. Now they're saying that it's probably going to have delivery start in late 2026, which means that we'll either see news either late 2026 if they are on time, or more likely we'll probably see it in early 2027, assuming all of this gets approved and it is on track. So yeah, there's not too much more information about the vehicles themselves. So if I do find out more, I'll let you guys know. Alright, let's jump on to some news on Zeekr. So earlier on in the week they actually released a announcement, new upgraded batteries, and you can see here it allows vehicles to charge from 10% to 80%, so that's 70% worth of capacity in just 10.5 minutes. So that'll obviously remove users' range anxiety. And so 70% fuel. So you imagine for 10.5 minutes you're driving an EV. Realistically, if you were at the fuel pumps, you were going to pump your car in with petrol, it's going to take you probably a couple of minutes already anyway. And then a couple of minutes to go in and pay and then get back to your car. Whereas in an EV, you're literally standing by your car the entire time. And depending on how the payment system works, depending on which charger or charging point you're at or charging station, you potentially eliminate the need to go in and swipe any cards. So 10.5 minutes is really acceptable and it's amazing. And to think that you know, this is still in 2024, would be amazing to see where we're going to be in a couple of years time. But anyways, 10 to 80% in 10.5 minutes. Congratulations to Zeekr, that's really exciting. And on that note, you'll see on the next one here, Zeekr X was spotted in Brighton, Victoria, reaching 78 kilowatts DC charging at 67% state of charge, paying 70 cents per kilowatt hour. So fantastic news. So obviously using Tesla charging network, which is one of the most reliable charging stations that you can use as an EV driver. Yeah, there's not much more. It's compatible, so it's fantastic, and the car obviously is coming here real soon. And that kind of leads us on to the next one. So the Zeekr X official launch obviously happened, I think it was just yesterday actually. So if you haven't seen it already, jump onto Tom's channel, have a look through the official launch. It's like you were pretty much there. I've compiled a small table just with a summary of some of the information that I've found, and then I took a screenshot from Tom's video to put it here on screen for you guys to see, and I'll talk through some of the interesting points that I've taken note of. So obviously prices are excluding on-road costs, so under $60,000 for rear-wheel drive and under $70,000 for the all-wheel drive. Power, you can see there, it's 200 kilowatts for rear-wheel drive, 315 for the all-wheel drive, which is pretty good, and 0 to 100, 5.6 and 3.8. The one thing that was odd was I did think that the rear-wheel drive would have had a LFP battery, but both of them look like they're going to have NMC battery over there. So that was something to note. And then key things in terms of the variations, I want you guys to focus on, where is it? This AC charge. So it seems like in the rear wheel drive, you've only got 7.2 kilowatts charging for AC, but then if you do get the all-wheel drive, you actually do get additional power or charging capabilities. So you can see over here that it can charge at 11 kilowatts AC for the all-wheel drive. So if you are someone that drives, I guess, a fair bit, or you do need that additional charging power, all-wheel drive, depending on price obviously, all-wheel drive might be the one that you'd want to look at. Now some of the other bits that I thought was interesting was Sentry mode, Pet mode, and Rest mode. It'd be really good once there's more information that comes, or once this car officially comes out, to understand exactly how that compares to obviously Tesla. And then you've obviously got a convenience package which adds some extra nice things to top off that luxury component for the vehicle. From my perspective, I think if you were to get this car, you definitely have to get the convenience package. Heated steering wheel in the cold, absolutely amazing. And then you've also got seat ventilation. For me, that is a definite tick box. But again, it also comes down to how much is that package going to cost, because all they're saying so far is under 60k and under 70k. I presume that's without any of the options. But yeah, once we find out more, I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, now this is a new one. So, DeLorean DMC EV. So there's a bespoke car maker, or an American car maker, that is resurrecting the DMC, so the DeLorean Motor Company. That's what DMC stands for. And this time it's going to have electric power capable of pushing well past 88 miles per hour. And in case you guys don't know why there's a reference to 88 miles per hour, you guys should watch Back to the Future. It's pretty much 88 miles per hour where the car essentially starts to travel. Anyways, Lynx Motors is the company that will be resurrecting this car. They're looking to dedicate reviving and re-imaging or reimagining this classic sports car, and they're saying reservations are open, deliveries are going to begin next year. However, look at that hefty price tag, starting at just under $300,000, and this was a US website, so I presume it's in US dollars, which means that you're borderline paying $500,000 or Australian dollars if that's a car that you're going to get, putting aside the fact that you probably can't even drive it here anyway. But either way, if you guys want to look through the specs, pause the video, you guys can have a look. I think it looks amazing. I think it looks still really retro, really funky. It definitely was a car that suited Back to the Future back then, and it still looks really, really cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Alright, some more interesting news. Let's talk Volkswagen. So 3 things over here that I want to talk to you guys about that I found on social media. The first one is kind of funny. Imagine seeing mood lighting has expired, repurchase pop up on your car. So it looks like they've copied what BMW have done previously around, and I don't know if BMW still do it, but they used to charge for certain options. And for something like mood lighting, it just feels it just doesn't sit right. Purely my opinion. So supposedly this is in the Volkswagen ID3, so it's not a car that we get here in Australia, but it is just something that doesn't sit right for me, and I don't think it sits right for a lot of people as well. So that was just something interesting that I saw. I didn't think that people would have mood lighting as an option for you to buy, but yeah, clearly they do. And the second one over here in the middle, Volkswagen delays the ID Golf launch to 2029. So look, we're towards 3/4 of the way through 2024. They're saying 2029. So we're looking at, you know, about 4 and a bit years away still. So I guess my question is, if they're going to delay the car 4 and a bit years, 5 years for argument's sakes, I really hope that the technology is going to climb up and it's going to creep up exponentially, because looking at the rate that we're getting vehicles from China and even Tesla and, you know, other manufacturers overseas, the rate that they're accelerating technology is mind-blowing compared to traditional automakers. So I'm hoping that if they are going to launch it eventually sometime, whether it's 2029 or 2030, that it's going to be an absolute amazing car, and it really does live up to the Golf name, especially the Golf GTI or whatever they're going to call it later on. So yeah, it looks like we're not going to get a electric Golf anytime soon. And then you see here on the right even more delays. So it says over here, according to Handelsblatt, internal memos revealed that Volkswagen would delay the production of its flagship EV, which was the Trinity compact SUV. So it was going to be launched by 2026, but German automaker has moved the start of production to 2032. So that's a 6-year delay on this one. So there's about 4.5 to 5 year delay on the ID Golf. Now there's a 6-year delay on their Trinity compact SUV. So Volkswagen, what is happening? What is happening? You guys need to fix yourselves. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted if there's any more news. But unfortunately, it's not fantastic news for Volkswagen this week, and those were the 3 headlines. Alright, let's jump onto some news with Tesla. So this big summer update essentially is here. So 2024.26.7. I won't go through in heaps of details. I'll just kind of read some of the key outtakes of here, or pause the screen if you guys want to read all of it. Basically, this is the next biggest update that started to roll out to all of the vehicles. In Australia, it's definitely come through a lot of vehicles today. So yeah, if you guys have it or if you haven't got it, hopefully you guys will get it soon. So YouTube and Amazon Music is finally there. So it's got a new alternative. So for the guys, or for the people that use it, fantastic news. You don't have to always just use Spotify now if you're not a Spotify user. You've now also got choices of having Amazon Music and YouTube Music. So that is great. You've also got a new game, Castle Doombad Classic, and it looks like there are over 70 levels. So we'd have to check that out and see how good that is. Parental controls, I think that is the best feature that they could have. So you can see over here that you can enable with a pin for your vehicle. You can set maximum speed and limit acceleration to chill. You can turn on all of the safety features. You can configure night curfew to receive notifications or through your app, and it means that once the car is driven past the curfew, you will get a notification. So that's really, really cool. You've also got something new about weather forecast and air quality, or AQI, or air quality index. So when air is poor, you guys know that you can essentially use your different modes of cleaning the air within the car, and then yeah, it's pretty cool. Jumping onto the next slide, you now also do have additional options for scheduled charge and preconditioning, which means you can break it down to specific days to repeat as well. And then you've also got an update to navigate to sub-destination. So as an example, if you go into the airport, you could also specify the specific terminal. Then a whole bunch of other smaller updates over here, some that are pretty cool. So it looks like you've got a couple of game updates at the top. For the Model 3 and the Model Y, you've got a redesigned climate panel. And when in auto, fan speed may now automatically lower to reduce sound of ambient noise during a phone call. You've got accent light changes specific to Cybertruck and the Model 3 Highland, or the new one. You've got Zoom meetings that go to full screen. You've got a helpful tutorial video for Cybertruck. You've got control search now surfaces climate control related features and navigation when searching for an address. And looks like in the US only, Tesla mic is now supported in conjunction with availability in the Tesla store. Hopefully that comes to here. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that's essentially the really big Tesla update. Now, obviously, I've only shown you images. If you guys actually want to see what the changes are, I've actually got that in my car update today. So let me know in the comments below. I'll record a video. I'll show you guys what it's all about. But that's really exciting, and it's a really big update. Alright, we've got one more update on Tesla. So Tesla Powerwall 3, the official launch happened today. There was a launch event in Sydney this afternoon, and you guys may or may not know Nirav Bhatt. He's a fantastic enthusiast that was invited to that session, and he did record it. So highly encourage you guys, if you guys want to know more about the Powerwall 3 in more detail, and also want to see what's happened in that event, he's made a video there. Jump over to the video and have a look. I'll put a link in the description box below so you guys can click there and have a look. Now pause the screen there if you guys want to look at all of the specs, but I guess the long story short is 10 years warranty, 13.5 kilowatt hour battery, backup power up to 10 kilowatts. You've also got what was it, up to 4 units system expansion, so you can expand the units there. Essentially 97.5% solar to grid efficiency. These ones now do apparently have a built-in inverter. Now I don't know the technicalities of that and how that's supposed to work, but potentially you could, instead of having your solar inverter, use that inverter, and you could potentially expand your existing system as well. Now in terms of cost, so back then it was an NMC type battery. They've now gone to LFP, which means it's also cheaper to produce, if I've got that right. But unfortunately we haven't seen the price drops to what people would have liked. So you can see there, when you get the Powerwall, you also do need the gateway as well. So assume that's say about $12,000, that's $1,700, so $13,600 for a Powerwall with a gateway. So that includes GST, doesn't include delivery, installation or other costs as well. So you're up for at least $13,600 without any discounts factored in yet, if they are applicable. So yeah, are you guys going to get one? The one thing that I do know is that Powerwall 2 is not compatible with Powerwall 3. So if you've been holding out, then this is probably the one to get, because the old one, or the Powerwall 2, has been out for quite a number of years. But yeah, that's the Powerwall 3. As I said, I'll put a link to Nirav's video in the description box below, and you guys can go and watch that. Alright, and let's jump over to our final slide, other social media updates. So you may recall the Chinese supercar that I've shown you guys a while back that was spotted testing at the Nürburgring, the BYD Yangwang U9. Supposedly it's just broken a top speed record, or Chinese car top speed record, 375 kilometers per hour at a proving ground. So apparently it says here the record is not final, as they have to find a suitable test track in China to fully extract its performance. But at the moment, 375.12 kilometers per hour, and that's from a fully electric supercar or a hypercar. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And then the last piece of information is Tesla again. So it looks like really unique model. So it's a Model 3, and there is it's called the Model 3 rear-wheel drive textile interior option. So it was specifically launched for the Mexican market, and it says here no heated or ventilated seats in the front or the rear. The rear screen has been removed, the white ambient interior lighting only, so there's no multicolour at all. You've got no heated steering wheel, acoustic glass on the front only, and long range and performance models still get acoustic glass on all windows, and Model 3 rear-wheel drive in the US and Canada still get all of the things above, and I presume that is the same as Australia, but we just don't have that fabric model or the textile version. So I've got a slightly bigger picture here that you can see, which is just that one there blown up. And it says here that's a standard fabric, and on the long range and the performance, totally vegan, softer than leather, but more durable and resistant to stains. So yeah, that's essentially it. What do you guys think? Would you guys get one? I think it really depends on the price point. I think realistically either option it would sell in Australia, but it comes down to the price point and how much someone's going to pay. And yeah, that essentially takes us to the end of another video. As always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys are well, and yeah, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you soon for another video.